precinct return, well, a lot of counties, Travis, doesn't have that either. And our result tabulation is corrupted. How can you know the result of our election when only paper ballots remain or exactly tied? That's our lawsuit. It's an election contest. We filed within the time frame of an election contest, and that's where we're at. And so the appeals court is working on the ballot image issue, because both sides said, you know what, we want the appeals court to make a ruling on this ballot image. We want them to say that the ballot is the ballot as defined by law, and that cast vote record's not it. Okay? That's one of the things we're asking them to rule on. Also, the precinct return, to have the Secretary of State's office just waive law, we have asked them also to rule on that. Okay? So we'll see any day now what that result's going to be. Okay, so let's talk about big picture. What's happening across the state of Texas? Well, this is what we came across as I was going all over talking about our case. There's two kinds of voting in Texas. There's countywide and precinct level. You know, precincts, you just go to your precinct and you vote. And sometimes you combine precincts because it's just too much, you know, to have separate ones. So you combine precincts. But countywide's different. Countywide, you can vote anywhere in the county, no matter where you live, no matter where your precinct is. And apparently, it just takes too long to print those tapes. Don't worry, it takes too long. So you get a waiver. So for the counties, and I've been to most of these, and because there's a lot more in Texas, right? We just cherry pick the big hitters and the ones that we know for sure what's going on. Countywide polling locations, some are printing and some are not. Where's the consistency? Precinct polling, some are printing and some are not. Look at Dallas County. Inconsistent. It's a big hitter county, right? It's a big county. You got Galveston, Travis, Lubbock, Fort Bend, not printing tapes. There's no backup record, guys. There's no image and there's no tape. So in these not printing counties, you have to trust what the computer says. That doesn't work, does it? That's not what we were promised. It's a mix. It's a mix. It's what's interesting. Okay. Remember, the Secretary of State's own handbook says to print it. Says to print it. Okay. Let's think about early voting. Now, this is a big hairball. Early voting is up to 2 weeks now in Texas. Most counties for early voting don't print a tape. Wow. So for early voting, there's no backup record, there's no image, and there's no tape. There's only what the computer said we voted. Okay? That's an interesting revelation. There's something else that the Secretary of State's Keith Ingram guy is waiving. There are some counties that do paper ballots, right? You do the scan and you have paper ballots. Anybody in here who's with the elections office? Okay, I love it. There was a waiver that Mr. Ingram sent out on March 2nd, the day after the primaries in Texas, and said, you know what? Don't worry about doing that paper ballot audit. Don't worry about doing it. So now, the backup verification for paper ballot counties is out the window too. Because you know what? Those machines that scan those ballots can also have a program on them. Go look on the internet, you can see it. There's reports of this over and over. And so to make sure that it's accurate, these required hand counts were set up. There is a statute that allows the Secretary of State's office to waive it for a particular political subdivision. But Mr. Ingram, in his letter right here, waived 254 counties wanting it. Don't worry, don't do the paper audits. I don't like that. So I wonder, here, did y'all do the paper audits? Do you know if you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all did, so you ignored what Mr. Ingram said.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
I know.
You know him?
Yes, I
Bless you.
I've had some issues.
A lot of people have. A lot of people have. And you know, I called Keith. I called Keith on the phone. I said, Keith, why are you giving this waiver? He goes, that's what we do. And I said, no, wait a minute. Why for 254 counties across the state? What's the reason? He goes, that's what we do. It was like I was 4 years old and my mom was saying, because I said so. No, he works for me. He works for us. He's waiving these audits. And counties are just some, bless you for not doing it. Bless you. So that's another issue. Now you've got no tape, you've got no image, and the paper audits are being waived. Y'all like that?
No.
How many here are veterans? Is this what you sacrificed for? No, it is not. It is not. It's not what we were promised. Okay, I want to step back and kind of look across the state for electronic voting, because most counties do electronic machine voting. We're going to look at the 3 different times that a person could pick to vote. There's ballot by mail. The computer tabulates it, but guess what? We got a paper ballot to go back to. Okay? Early voting. The computer tabulates it for electronic. Well, there's no image and there's no tape for early voting. Election day. Computer tabulates it. There's no image. And sometimes there's a tape. When do you think your vote is most secure in this system?
Ballot by mail.
Paper. When is it least secure?
Early voting.
When are we told to vote?
Early. Oh,
Isn't that interesting? There's no backup for early voting. And I tell you what, we're moving more and more to a higher percentage of people voting early. There's no backup, guys. This is not what we were promised. There's no verifiability for this. Okay, I'm going to give you a direct example of this. Houston, the Houston mayor race in Harris County. Anybody familiar with that? It was Bill King and Sylvester Turner. Bill King was Republican. Sylvester Turner was the Democrat. And Houston has this type of system. They do paper ballots, ballot by mail, they do early, and they do electronic election day with a tape. Ballot by mail, the Republican Mr. King won 52%. There's a backup record. Election day, backup record, he got 52%. Early voting, he lost Harris County. It was kind of flip numbers. And he lost Harris County because of early voting. And there's no backup record.
dang.
There's no backup record for that. And if you look at another county that contributed to this race was Fort Bend. Fort Bend does no tape. Countywide, they do no tape at all. So there was no backup to prove who won in the race. Okay, this is a real life example of what we're talking about. It doesn't make sense, right? On both ends, it's different than the middle. It doesn't make sense. So what are we doing about this? You have to know the problem exists before anything can be done, right? That's an engineering approach. I love engineering. There's always a solution somewhere. So we really believe with this information and getting it out to the grassroots, people who vote, people who call their state senators and their state reps, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton and all of them. We want honest and fair elections in Texas, and we're going to have them. And I'm going to show you how we're approaching this. The first step is the judicial approach, which is what we're doing. In our case, we did a recount, we did a contest, we did discovery, we got evidence, we did a hearing, we're now in the appeals court. We believe we're going to have honest and fair elections in Travis County. I know the appeals court's going to do the legal and right thing. But guess